But
Corey.
don't you think that it should also have some type of, hey, you're a coach in this league, like you need to set some type of a precedence here?
You can say that, but I'm still from 6 Mile and Linwood, so I mean, you know.
Welcome to motherfucking Detroit, damn it, Wonder Boy.
Michigan spotted Maryland, a 12-point lead in the first half. Then I showed up, and they took over from there. They beat them 79-66. Mike Smith leading 4 players in double figures. What a game he had. 18 points and a Big Ten record, 15 assists. Big Ten tourney. And as you can see on the screen, Juwan Howard getting into it. Now, we think he was yapping at Maryland head coach Mark Turgeon, and we're going to get to that cut in just a couple of minutes. Nobody really knows. There's a rumor going around that as Michigan was beating their ass in the regular season, Turgeon was looking over to him and some of the Maryland players saying, hey, where are those Fab Five banners? Where are they? That's the rumor. Matter of fact, let's get into Maryland head coach Mark Turgeon after the game. What happened with Juwan?
I stood up for my team. I stood up for me. And there's a rumor out there. I said something about the banner. All I said is, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. There's nothing about a banner. I never backed down. I just stood there and said, don't talk to me. That's it. So, commissioner of the league was well aware of what's transpired the first 2 games, and they'll handle it from here. But I thought as professional as I could try to be in the moment, standing up for myself, 34 years of doing it the right way, and for Maryland basketball. And so that's all I did. Just stood up for myself and my program and said, don't talk to me. And then it escalated.
Just a quick follow-up. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not aware of what the reference to the banner. I'm not sure. What do you mean by that?
Just Sean Ellenby said there's a rumor out there about that. And I didn't say anything about it. I just said, don't talk to me. That's the only thing I said.
So I guess that's what happens when you get your ass beat
How's your
3
smell
times
test
in a
on that
season.
one?
It stinks.
It stinks?
I think that he obviously was busting balls with Juwan during the season, and obviously Mark Turgeon says, I do it the right way. Maybe he's saying Juwan Howard and Michigan didn't do it the right way, especially back in that Fab Five era. That's my take on it. And guess what? Michigan now waits for the winner of Ohio State and Purdue, and right now the Buckeyes laying the wood to the Boilermakers. 49-31 at the half right now.
And we've got our boy Corey, who you were there. Corey, what's the inside scoop on this?
All right, so after the game, I was a part of the Zoom call where Juwan spoke to the media, and basically this, if people who didn't watch the game or you did watch the game, you saw that he got into it with Maryland coach Mark Turgeon. Here's from Juwan's own words of what happened. Turk saw that I was out the box. He's telling the referee, "Look at my feet. I'm out. Look at my feet. I'm out of the box." And I'm like, "Come on, man. This is what we're doing today. You're worrying about my feet being out the box." He said to me, "Juwan, I'm not going to let you talk to me. You don't ever talk to me again." And he charged at me. And Juwan said, "Hey, I'm from Chicago. When you charge at me, I'm going to get on my defense." And that's how I was raised, and that's exactly what it was.
Wow.
So he said it's going to be everybody's side to a story, but he said that's my side.
So I feel that, and Maz, we saw the clip earlier, but I feel like you were pretty passionate about this, right? Because
I am. I always defend the Fab Five, first of all, and if you're going to step on their toes, I'm going to tell you how it is. And you don't like what happened back then? Do something about it. Yeah, the banners aren't hanging up at Chrysler anymore. They took them down. They are in mothballs. They're still at Chrysler Arena, but they're in hiding right now. Eventually, they're going to be hanging up again. And when you go to Chrysler Arena, or the Chrysler Center, as you call it now, you'll see their cardboard cutouts in the front row. You see them all. You see Juwan Howard, Jalen Rose, and the boys.
What does that have to do, the banners, with anything about what we're talking about right
because
here? Because
Turgeon,
he
I don't
didn't say
believe him.
about the banners.
I don't
he said
believe
about
him.
his feet.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
Juwan just said, he said, don't talk about my feet being out of the box. Corey just said, Juwan just said, bro, we're going to go to this level now. You're gonna whine to the refs about my feet being out of the box, which is like a little bit of a wussy move. And then he said, Turgeon came towards him, and his defense came up. This is about being a man and anything. This has nothing to do with your opinion on the Fab Five being up. This is two men where Juwan Howard thought he was disrespected, and he's telling you how he stepped to it.
So why did Turgeon say that then?
What?
Right,
Why did Turgeon mention the banners?
Because when you're a wussy, right, and you're whining about the littlest things when you're down, what are they down at this point? 10, 12, 8, whatever, and you're going to say, ref, he's out of the box, he's out of the box. And you're like, come on, man, because you pull a wussy move that you would never, because it's to your rep as a coach, that it's better off for him to say the banner thing, because you'd have more respect for him to say the banner thing than going, oh, look, he, that's
What's
like
an equivalent
BS.
in hockey? What's an equivalent in hockey?
It's equivalent. Here it is. It's equivalent to what happened in the Wings game last night when it was 5-4 for the Wings, and off the draw, it looked like Steven Stamkos high-sticked Dylan Larkin in the face. The ref called it as a penalty, but it happened to be they went to the replay to look at it, and it was actually Larkin's own stick that caught him, so there was no penalty, which in the old days, automatically, once the hand goes up, there's no, this isn't the first time it happens. But here's the thing. Because karma and whatever the way the game played out, even though they didn't get a penalty, they scored an empty net goal and won 6-4. Yeah. So that's it, using it in the positive way, because Stamkos was pleading your case. And I know as a professional athlete, when you know when you're right and you know when you're wrong, and when you're right and the ref is wrong or somebody else, it's like pleading your case, because that's who we are, is go down dying for it. And Turgeon, that's exactly, look at him. That's a weasel trying to get out of saying something that is absolutely, come on, man. That's like petty ball or whatever. You're going to, it's gross. It's really, really, really gross, and good for Juwan and good for the team to respond to that.
They took off when he went out because Maryland was making a run. I think he got himself thrown out to light a fire under his Wolverines because they took off and beat them right. They punched them right in the mouth.
So maybe it was a motivation.
I do believe
maybe
that.
It was a motivation. Who knows, Maz? But whatever it did, it worked. If you're a Michigan fan, and that explanation, if you watch it, I didn't watch it. I didn't see if Turgeon went at him or not. But I believe Juwan Howard. He has no reason. He's not. To me, he's just not the liar.
Hey, Art, play that cut where you see the teams coming at each other. No sound under it, but let's just look at it anyway. The time when Juwan and his players were going after Maryland on their side.
Which one's the coach for?
Where's Maryland's coach, right? I'm so used to seeing everything on the big screen now. This looks so
right, exactly.
Like we're almost squinting.
This is
but something you hear.
This is after what had happened initially, because so the camera angles. You have to see it probably at a better camera angle, but
sure we'll see it many times going forward.
But we saw the interview with Maryland's coach where he said, the only thing he said was,
when you're wussy and you try to go like wussy, like oh my God, your shoe wasn't tied or you didn't. It's like in football, you dropped your towel or your uniform, you get fined because your sock's not pulled up or something like that. But on the other point, Maz, to your point, it could be he picked his spot. We call it in hockey picking your spot. Yep. Sometimes it's like where in the game, if you're going to get out in a fight or maybe take a penalty, there's better spots than others. Sometimes it's good to take it at the end of the game when you're out of the game or whatever. Maybe Juwan Howard, that was him picking his spot. That's more of a professional coach move than it is a college coach move, but look where he came from.
But that's Major League Baseball at its best there, because when a manager comes up, and I bring up Earl Weaver of the Orioles back in the 70s, he'd come out, he would start kicking dirt on the umpire, and they would go at each other face to face. Thank God there was no COVID back then, by the way, because they were eating each other's spit face to face, and that's what baseball managers do a lot. And here it is on a basketball court. Juwan Howard, I think, picked his spot. Phil Martelli can coach anywhere in the country, and he's the assistant coach at Michigan. He finishes the game. Wolverines trounce him.
So I think that ultimately this is going to be a he said type thing, and unless the officials come out to the media and say exactly what happened, I think we're going to hear two different sides of the story.
Yeah.
But what I did find pretty aggressive was when Corey said that Juwan Howard said, "I'm from Chicago. You come at me, that's what we do." Was that a bit too aggressive, do you think,
No, because I do it all the time. Where am I from? I'm from Detroit.
Are you?
So I mean, there's
so
there's a
does that mean-
respect that comes along with it. When he said I'm from Chicago, you understand what he means more. So I don't know if he was saying disrespectfully. To me, this is a boiling up over some. This didn't start today,
Agreed.
right? So this goes to whatever, and him saying he's from Chicago is just letting the brother know is that, listen, this is what I'm all about, and this is how I grew up. Which it's the same thing that I do. Which is, you know who I am. I am proud to be from Detroit. What it means is you're resilient, you're hardworking, you're patient. It doesn't always come easy, but you always get back up.
You know what I said when I moved here in 1993 from New Jersey? I'm a Jersey boy, and I lived in Hudson County, New Jersey, which I could throw a rock at the Empire State Building from my house. So I grew up a New Jersey, New York guy. I'm from the city. I worked in the city most of my life. But when I was decided to move here, and my fiance was here in Michigan. She was in Michigan. I was coming to stay in Michigan. I'm like, let me give Michigan a try. I'm like, I need you to get me a house in Detroit. I'm like, if I'm coming to Michigan, I want to live in the city of Detroit. And she's like, you sure? I'm like, yep. Get me a place, get me an apartment, get me a house, whatever, and I'll live in Detroit. That's what she did. She found it. I wound up staying there for first 10 years that I was here, and I'm in St. Clair Shores, Michigan now, so a suburb of Detroit. I'm proud to be from here now. Very proud.
I'm proud to be from the Big D too. I always say I'm from Motown, baby.
But you're from the real Big D, Dallas.
No, I'm not from Dallas.
not
I'm
from
originally
Dallas.
from San Antonio.
Like, dude, that's
Come
like saying
on.
you're from. Are you kidding, Matt? Did you just do that?
I did.
Oh my goodness,
Dallas,
you guys are
San Antonio. What the
you
hell?
guys
is
are
I'm
the difference?
sticking up for you. Do you see
No,
what
I
he just
know.
did to you?
I appreciate it.
Okay,
I
thanks.
appreciate
But
it.
this is
Thank you.
Texas.
But yes, I know. But all right, guys, we have got to take a break. I'm going to try and cool these two off.
The big
But
duh, we call it.
When we come back, our boy Corey has got more to say on this.
All right, this is some G14 class. I guess you could call it G14 classified info. To D-Mac's point, this didn't start today. This started last season when, okay, people have to remember, Maryland's assistant coach, DeAndre Haynes, was on Michigan's coaching staff. When John Beilein left Michigan to go to coach the Cleveland Cavaliers, Dre Haynes was out of a job.
Guys, we need some Law and Order music under this.
So Dre Haynes is now on the Maryland coaching staff, and those two, Juwan Howard and Dre Haynes, they've exchanged some words over the past season or so, because Juwan is still running Dre Haynes' offense. So there were some words last year, like Juwan Howard said some things to Dre Haynes, and Haynes said back to him, "Hey, stop running my offense." And this thing has been building up over the past couple of years, over the past year or so.
So Corey, I'm happy that you said that, because that certainly makes a lot more sense. Because don't you think that coming at somebody with "I'm from Chicago," that's how we do things, is a bit aggressive?
I've heard that.
I think we
Those
just
are fighting words.
No, that's keeping it off the.
I think what
keeping
Juwan
it
was just
out of
speaking
the-
to was just that Chicago was known, just like Detroit, we're known as a tough city. We're hardcore. We're taught a certain way. We carry a certain demeanor. So if you're gonna come at me, you're gonna charge at me. Hey, remember where I'm from, because this can go so many different ways.
I love it,
But
Corey.
don't you think that it should also have some type of, hey, you're coaching this league, like you need to set some type of a precedence here?
You can say that, but at the same time, they're still both grown men, and in that kind of situation, it was kind of like his manhood got challenged, and he apologized and said that he should have acted better in the situation. But even me, I'm a calm guy. I consider myself to be, but at the same time, I'm still from 6 Mile and Linwood. So, I mean, you say the wrong thing to me, you get a certain response.
Do you think that had they let them go, that there would have been a full-on brawl? Do you think Juwan Howard would have hit him?
I think Juwan eventually probably would have called his cool. I think he probably might have just exchanged some words in his face, but I don't see Juwan as the guy that just hauls off and hits him. But again, you charge at a grown man. It's like a wire will go loose. depending on where you're from.
I got that loose wire, but anyways, it
You got
goes
a lot of loose wires.
It goes back to what Juwan should have said is, yeah, bro, I'm running a hell of a lot better than you are, right? It's just like, finally, yeah, you're a smart dude, but I had to let you go because you don't know how to implement it. So, but that's awesome. Great, Corey from Woodward
Thanks,
Sports,
Corey.
always breaking the news here.
Yes, you make sure you're catching him every weekday during the mornings on the Morning Wood. Great
Pro Football
stuff.
Writers of America writer.
Yes.
Yeah.